So look at this. These people are bidding a part in a film or a cute drawing or, well, that in exchange for an invite to Gmail. Yeah, Google's free email. This was happening on a website called gmailswap.com in 2004. Because at the time, Gmail was free, but it was under invite only. And invites were selling on eBay for $150, $200. Now, fast forward to today, and the biggest tech products and apps that we all use are getting worse. They're getting more expensive year after year. Everything is a subscription. Companies are getting greedy. It's called enshittification, and it's not true. Think about it. Why do we get outraged over a $2 price increase for Netflix, but then we rush to upgrade the latest iPhone for $1,600? You see, these weirdos paying for free Gmail are the start of the real story. The story of how the price of technology got broken forever, all the way to today. And how for the first time in 20 years, your favorite AI chatbots just broke the one rule that made this all work. I'm Enrico and I build tech products. I'm building Flask, my video collaboration tool, and on this channel we go behind the scenes of the design and psychology behind the tech we use every day. This video is sponsored by Luma AI. More about them later in the video. But to understand this, let me ask you a question. Are your AirPods worth more to you than your Gmail account? Most of you will say, yes, of course. And the reason is that they are a physical product you can touch, and Gmail is just a service that you don't own and that you never had to worry about upgrading or changing. It just always kind of been there. But if I took away both your AirPods and your Gmail and you could only have one back, which one would you choose? Well, most of you would probably freak out and do everything to get their Gmail back. So how come this thing that is so important for billions of people came to be perceived as something that has little to basically no monetary value? It's March 31st, 2004. And if you had to choose an email provider, you could choose between Hotmail, which gave you 2 megabytes of space, or Yahoo Mail, which gave you 4 megabytes. But on April 1st, 2004, Google announces Gmail, giving you this much space, 1 gigabyte, completely for free. With a better interface, all on the web, it sounded so insane that people thought it was an April Fool's joke. Bill Gates said that he was offended by Gmail offering such a large amount of space. He said it was morally repugnant to leave all of that email sitting on the servers. And within weeks, Gmail invites are selling on eBay for $150. People are getting crazy to get their hands on this. They were paying the equivalent of $342 in today's money to get access to free email. And all of this was possible because Gmail wasn't really about email. See, Google already had discovered probably one of the best businesses of all time, selling ads on searches. It was already insanely profitable in 2004, and what it desperately needed was just more people on the web. Because if people use the web more, they're gonna search more and they're gonna see more ads. And this is the reason why Google was more than happy to spend billions to let everyone use a free email service. Or, you know what else? Mapping the entire world and send out cars on every single road on Earth so that this guy can guess where he is based on an upside down black and white map in 0.1 seconds on Google Maps.
Nice.
Both Maps and Gmail are incredible products. Your life will objectively be worse without them, so their value is extremely high. But at the same time, the monetary value that we'd assign to them is, well, zero. Of course, they should be free. So why is this so important, and what does it have to do with the increasing app prices and so-called enshittification that we are seeing today? See, what Gmail started is not really enshittification. It's actually the exact opposite. Something we are gonna call, because we are very creative, freeification. This is where a product is actually genuinely incredible, but somehow it's perceived as having no monetary value, that it should be free. And there's a psychological reason behind this as well, called the penny gap. When people were asked to choose between these two sweets, with the Lindt one costing 15 cents and the Hershey's one costing 1 cent, 73% of people chose the Lindt. But when both prices dropped by 1 penny, making the Hershey's free while the Lindt cost 14 cents, now most people chose the free Hershey's. The moment something costs anything, even a penny, your brain starts doing cost-benefit calculations. But free? We don't just value free products more, we perceive them as something completely different. Now, Google was able to make Gmail free because they already had their money printing machine called Google Ads. And don't forget that this is how we got Chrome or Android. But at this point, if freeification just means we get amazing products for free, well, sign me up. What's the problem? Well, Silicon Valley saw all this and they were like,
yeah, boy.
And that's where the problem starts. But before we get to that, let me show you what I just did with the sponsor of this video, Luma AI. I was in the street where Silicon Valley was born, so I shot some footage, and I'm just gonna drop this video into Luma AI and use the modify video feature, and I can use it to create a new world, like a version that looks like this. So here are two images that I have on my computer. Let me pull both of them in, tell it what I want in the middle, and Luma AI is gonna create a video with those images as a start and end point. I can also create videos from scratch by describing things or providing references, and Luma also helps me pick styles, camera angles, and lighting. Luma AI helps you ideate, visualize, create videos, and share your dreams with the world. Luma just released Ray 3, their most powerful model yet, and among other things, you can also turn regular videos into HDR. You can try them out today with the link in the description, which also gives you an exclusive discount to try Luma AI. Thank you to Luma AI for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to our story. Because imagine you are Uber in 2010. Your service, connecting riders to drivers, has huge costs like developers, insurance claims, support, acquiring new users. But unlike Google, you don't have a search engine printing billions every year. But what if there was a way to hack this system? What if there's a way to freeify a product, to build something that's just so amazing and brings a ton of value to people and give it out basically for free? That's a cheat code to winning. So enter venture capital. 1.25 million seed round in October 2010. Then 11 million Series A. Then 37 million Series B. Then Google Ventures puts into Uber $258 million, the largest investment ever. In 2015, Uber passengers were paying only 41% of the actual cost of their trips. Uber was burning $2 billion a year while generating just $1.4 billion in revenue. Netflix burned through hundreds of millions in cash building its content library. Spotify lost $1.2 billion in 2017 alone, while charging $9.99 for access to virtually every song ever recorded. Airbnb, DoorDash, WeWork, they're all playing the same game. Step 1. Build incredible products. It's kind of undeniable that the products themselves are great. Listening to basically every song ever recorded with recommendations, not get scammed by taxi drivers all around the world so I can just get where I need to go? Sign me up. These are insane products. But second, give these products out for free or almost free, subsidized by millions of dollars from venture capital, effectively freeifying them. Take the most extreme example, MoviePass. $9.95 a month and you can see a movie in a theater every single day. With the average ticket costing them $9.18, as soon as you watch 2 movies, they already lose money. You watch one every day and they lose $265 every single month. And yeah, of course, they went out of business. So what happened with all these companies that, of course, everyone started to use their amazing free products. But at the same time, they got something else printed into people's brains. The fact that these amazing products and services have no monetary value. That of course, they should be free because that's how it's always been. They have freeified themselves. So when in 2022, the free money from venture capital started to dry up, now these companies needed to take the price dial and crank it up. And that's of course when people revolted. WhatsApp was free, but when they introduced a 99 cents per year subscription, not per month, per year, I remember at the time, this felt like an outrage. Look at these reactions when Netflix increased their price by just $2. This is corporate greed. Cancel immediately. This is theft. It used to be $7.99. Why is this a reaction to Netflix increasing their price by $2? But iPhones are still being bought every single year, despite them getting more expensive every year than all of these services. In 2021, Netflix was making 46.1% profit on any subscription. If we take the latest iPhone, that number is 66%. But that's 66% of $1,600, over $1,000 in pure gross profit. Yet in our mind, we have this idea that Netflix or Spotify or Uber are ripping us off more. The enshittification that everyone keeps talking about, it never happened. These products have always been great. I would argue they still are. They just trained us to perceive their monetary value as almost zero. So now that they need to start charging the real cost that it takes to run these services, that's when we feel ripped off. And another consequence of this is that they haven't freeified themselves, but the entire product category. There's a lot of debate, for example, on Spotify not paying artists enough. But let's imagine that tomorrow, a competitor launches with the goal of building a higher paying streaming service for artists. Amazing. Amazing. Of course, as a user, I'm really happy to give my favorite artist more money to keep making music. But in order to do that, they would have to price this streaming service at, say, $30 a month, which, considering how much music and podcasts we all listen to, is still low in terms of value you get. But because Spotify freeified the entire music streaming industry and bringing its perceived value to basically zero, this new streaming service is doomed from day one. It's not enshittification, it's freeification. But now we have an even bigger problem. While we are now revolting for a $15 subscription to a service that costs $12 to run, products like ChatGPT and most of the AI tools out there are charging $15 for something that costs them $30 to run. AI is everywhere now, but the old rules of freeification straight up don't work in the AI world. Take ChatGPT. On the free plan, after a few queries, you get hit by this paywall. Same for all the other AI tools. Here's Claude, here's Gemini. In the old world of freeification, this would have been unthinkable. It's like Gmail saying that you can only send 3 emails a day on the free plan. But with AI models, the cost of every interaction, every back and forth with the chatbot, every image generation costs them so much more than traditional apps. Direct cost to Spotify of you streaming a song or for Google to make a search is less than a fraction of a cent. Video is much more expensive. If you watch an 8-hour Twitch stream at 1080p, it costs Twitch almost 60 cents to get that video just to you, to one person. Still very expensive, but kind of manageable. We can deal with that. But AI models are just on another level. For example, I paid $200 a month for the most expensive tier of Claude by Anthropic. I use it mostly for coding, so let's take this chat right here, where I was exploring a new feature to add to my product Flask with their premium model Opus. That ended up costing $21.74. Sounds okay, until you realize that it's not $21.74 a month. This is $21.74 just for that single chat. They are actively losing money on a $200 a month subscription. There are people burning through tens of thousands of dollars a month in AI costs, all behind a $200 a month subscription. There are even sites with leaderboards telling you who's spending more money. But still, regular mainstream users expect to get things for free. A $15 Netflix subscription seems absurd. And in a world where the cost of AI is 10 times that, freeification is kind of doomed. Because just like for freeified apps, the value of these AI tools and chatbots, it's insanely high. But if they fall into the trap of giving them out for free, this time it's gonna be even worse. And we haven't solved this yet. Some products still use subscriptions, hoping that the cost of the AI that you actually use is lower than what they charge you. Others are using a credit system where you buy credits in bulk and you burn through them. But the con of this is the taximeter effect, where you have a constant anxiety about your usage. Imagine if you had a counter in your Spotify player that tells you how many listens you still have available, until you have to buy some more. Another option is the markup model that many coding tools like Cursor are using. You pay for the cost of the actual AI plus like a 10 or 20% fee on top of that to the app. This can be a good solution for more technical and advanced users, but still doesn't work for the average mainstream user. Imagine getting a bill from Netflix with your share of the production cost of Stranger Things plus a 20% markup. Now, we have yet to find out how this is going to get solved, but here's my prediction. The mainstream will be so used to this freeified situation that we have created that it's not going to be willing to pay for these AI tools, even if it's like a ridiculously low amount. So they're going to be stuck with the default cheap, crappy AI models. For example, now that I'm used to having the latest and greatest models for writing, programming, whenever I forget to log in and I use the basic free version of tools like ChatGPT, I realize how bad the free model is versus the latest and greatest that you can use today. And only a small portion of these power users, like me, are going to fork out hundreds of dollars a month for tools that are definitely worth more than that. But that's still gonna seem crazy for the average user, which is more or less the same reaction I get now when I tell my friends that I spend $200 a month on an AI subscription. But insanely expensive subscriptions is far from the only thing that's changing right now. Because the user interface, how we communicate with technology, is about to change completely as well. And actually, all the buttons and dialogues and mouse clicks that we do every day, well, they're already dead. And you can learn all about it in this video right here. Oh, and if you're a creative or you work with video, go check out the product that I'm building. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into it. It's a next-gen video collaboration tool called Flask. It's pretty cool, I promise. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.